Today we're going to be exploring Linux tools for searching. So we can search for files or text or directories. And the first tool we're going to look at is find. So find helps you find directories or files. And it's useful, I found, to pull up the search Linux find, click on this link. And so so here is the syntax for find. So you have find, you specify a path, you have the options, and then your expression. So if we scroll down here, here are options or commands. So we can find by name, we can find by type, so file or directory. We can find by size, so if it's over or below a certain size, like in megabytes or whatever. We can find the time it was last modified. This lets us execute a certain commands, like if we find something, we can remove it. And then we can find empty files. We can do a whole bunch of things. So let's get into it. Close this. So just to demo find, we can do find, and as we said before, you specify a path. So we'll do our home directory, and then we're going to find by name. So we can do -name, and we have to give it a name. So we can do poem.txt. So if we click enter, what this says is, okay, find a file starting from our home directory. So find will say, okay, home directory and onward. So if anything is like in the root directory, it's not going to find it because the root directory is above the home directory. So this looks from the home directory and onward, or below, depending on how you want to think about it. And we're going to look by name, and the name is poem.txt. So this says, okay, here's the whole path to get to poem.txt starting from the home directory. So it's home, Ryan, code, notes, poem.txt. And so if we ran the same command, but we did poems, a bunch of random letters, this file, as far as I know, does not exist anywhere in my system. So if we press enter, and it doesn't find anything, it'll just output nothing. Another example can be, let's say, starting from I have a directory called code, which is where I write most of my code. Starting from that directory, let's find all my Python files. So we can do find home Ryan code by name asterisk for all.py. So this will be find starting from home Ryan code onward, all the files with the name .py. So every file with a Python extension. Click enter, and we have a good amount of Python files. We can see they all end in .py. And let's clear the screen. So if we do find and don't specify a path, it'll still work, but it'll just use our current path. So if we print working directory, we're in the home directory /home/Ryan. So if we do find, don't specify a path, and we can do empty, which will list all empty folders or files, this will start from our current working directory, this one, onward. And we have a good amount of empty files, it appears. Clear the screen. We can also do find, we'll do the home directory -mtime, which stands for modification time, -7. So this will find all the files that have been modified in the past 7 days. It's like a good amount. Clear the screen. And we can search for type as well, so mostly it'll be files or directories. So we can do find, we'll do home directory, type D. So this will find everything that's a directory. And we do have a good amount of directories. Clear the screen. A cool thing we can do with find is we can execute a command on each file we find. So we can do find home directory, we'll name, and we'll do poem.txt. And let's say I want to delete this file. We can do exec, and then our command will go next. So we can do remove -i. So -i means interactive. So instead of just straight removing it right away, it'll ask us if we're sure we want to remove it. Yeah, it's just a little safeguard. Then we'll do the brackets, slash, so that's the syntax. And again, this is just finding from the home directory forward any file with the name poem.txt, and it'll execute remove interactive. So it'll say, are you sure you want to delete poem.txt if it finds it? And then we can say yes, and then it'll be deleted. Cool. So it says remove file, and it gives us the path. So it found it. We do yes, enter, and it's gone. We can also find files based off size. So we can do find, and let's start from the home directory. We can do size. Let's do +50 capital M. That means if it's greater or larger than 50 megabytes, display it or list it. we have one thing, so we can do plus, let's do plus 20, a few more things, and we can also do minus 20, which means find everything that's smaller than 20 megabytes, and there's a whole lot more than there are that are larger. The next command we're going to explore is grep. Grep is used to search for text within files, and the syntax is grep, you specify a pattern, and then the file. So a simple use of grep is you can search for a word in a file. So let's list, we have these three text files, and let's look in stuff.txt. So if we cat stuff.txt, we can see it's just a bunch of random stuff, but I was walking my dogs, we see dog shows up a lot in this text file. So we can do grep dog stuff.txt. And so we see all the lowercase dogs. So we have dog in the first line, so it gives us that first line. And then my dog is a lab, it gives us that line as well. So we can also make this case insensitive, so we can do the same thing, except we can do the -i flag before, and this will say, okay, anything that matches dog, but it doesn't matter if it's lower or uppercase. So we can search, and we can see now we get the lowercase dog, and then I was walking my dog with the uppercase D, and then that same line, and then also a dog with the uppercase D. Clear the screen. And so we can also search for a word in multiple files. We'll do a list, we can do a grep dog, and we can do stuff.txt, we can do spongebob.txt, spooky.txt, and spongebob.txt. And only dog is in stuff.txt. It tells you the file if you specify multiple, but if these text files had the word dog, it would show up. And we can search for cursively in directories, so instead of just specifying, oh, search this one file or search these two specific files, we can search through each directory. So we can do grep -r, and then we can specify the word, so I'll do spooky, and we'll start from the home directory. So this will look from the home directory onward for any occurrence of spooky in a file. So we can see it as these outputs. And we can clear the screen, we can navigate back to notes, and we can count the number of matching lines. We can do grep -c for count, and we'll do dog again, and we'll do the stuff.txt, and it says, okay, there's 2 lines in stuff.txt that contain dog, and we can combine flags or options. We can do count, and we can do I, so it's case insensitive, and now we get 4. So it says, okay, get the count, and search for both lower and uppercase letters. And with grep, a thing a lot of people do is use regular expressions, which are patterns that are used to match character combinations and strings. So I won't get really into this. There's a lot you might have to learn, but an example would be, we can do grep, then you do quotations, we can do /b, and then brackets rr, and then /word asterisk, and then quotes, and then we'll search in stuff.txt. And what this is saying is, okay, the /b means look at the start of a word, and then the lowercase r and the uppercase r means, okay, match both of these, and this means match any letters after r. So this matches Ryan with the lowercase r and Rhino with the uppercase r. So this regular expression just looks for any word that starts with a lowercase or uppercase r.